Hey everybody, it is the Macabre Tavern, and we are back with Monochrome Monday. This week, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite classics, and a lot of people love this as a cult film. It's called Carnival of Souls. Now, here comes the plot of the movie. Kansas, Mary Henry is riding in a car with two other young women when two men challenge them to a road race. During the race, the women's car is nudged by the boys and plunges off a bridge into a muddy river. 3 hours after the police start dredging the water to look for them, Mary miraculously surfaces on the riverbank but cannot remember how she survived. Mary moves to Salt Lake City, where she has been hired as a church organist. While driving near an abandoned pavilion near the shores of the Great Salt Lake, Mary begins experiencing visions of a ghoulish, pale-faced figure known as the Man. A gas station attendant tells her that the pavilion was first a bathhouse and then a dance hall, and finally a carnival was there before it was abandoned. Mary rents a room and visits the church where she will be playing the organ. She takes a ride out to the pavilion at the lake with the church's minister, who stops her from entering, warning that it's against the law. Mary continues to experience visions of the Man and also rejects the repeated advances of John, a neighboring lodger. Mary goes to the pavilion by herself to investigate, but does not find anything. Later, Mary begins experiencing terrifying interludes where she becomes invisible and inaudible to the rest of the world, as if she wasn't there. During one of these episodes, Mary meets Dr. Samuels, who offers to help while acknowledging he is not a psychiatrist. Mary returns to the church by herself to begin practicing the organ and finds herself shifting from a hymn to some eerie music. In a trance, she sees visions of the Man and other ghouls dancing in the pavilion. The minister, hearing the strange music, demands that she resigns. That night, Mary accompanies John to the bar. Terrified of being alone with her nightmares, Mary tells John that she wants his company. When they return home, John tries to convince Mary to let him stay the night. However, Mary becomes hysterical when she sees the Man in the mirror. John leaves, believing Mary is insane. The following morning, Mary returns to the pavilion where she encounters the Man and his fellow ghouls. She frantically tries to escape. However, the locals do not acknowledge her, and she only encounters more ghouls until she wakes up, revealing the scene to be a nightmare. She's later drawn back to the pavilion once again, where she finds the ghouls dancing with a ghoul version of herself paired with the Man. She tries to run away, but is being chased by the ghouls onto the beach, where she collapses as they close in. The following day, Dr. Samuels, the minister, and the police go to the pavilion to look for Mary. They find her footprints, but note that she has otherwise vanished. Back in Kansas, the submerged car is finally pulled from the river, and Mary's body is seen in the front seat alongside two other women. That is the story of Carnival of Souls. Of course, Candace Hildegost was Mary Henry, Frances Feast as Mrs. Thomas, Sidney Berger as John Linden, Art Ellison was the minister, Stan Levitt was Dr. Samuels, Tom McGinnis as the organ factory boss, Forbes Carwell was the factory worker, Dan Palmquist was the gas station attendant, Bill D. Jarnett was the mechanic, Steve Boozer was Chip, Pamela Ballard was the dress sales lady, and now he was always credited, and Herrick Garvey was the Man. Yeah, the ghoul. I love this movie. It's one of my personal favorites. If you're getting somebody who doesn't really like gore and you want to introduce them into the horror genre, this is one of those great movies to do that in, because like I said, there's no gore in the movie whatsoever. It's there's some tension in this movie, yes, and of course, the ending of the movie is absolutely outstanding. It turns out that Mary's dead, and yeah, you kind of know what movie this kind of mirrors. Yeah, believe it or not, even after you die, you still have to show up to work, apparently. But yes, that is Carnival of Souls. It is one of the best movies, made for $33,000. You can find this on physical media. It is in the public domain, So if you ever wanted to play it like on your YouTube or in your Discord or even on Twitch, you're fine. Don't get me wrong, you're fine, absolutely. Now, again, there's been a couple remakes of this. There's even a book version of this now. But the Crichton Collection, of course, put it out. So you can go get that if you are, or the Criterion Collection, I should say, not the Crichton Collection. Issued the 2-disc DVD film set back in 2000. There's a 78-minute theatrical version, and the director's cut is about 84 minutes in this. I highly recommend you watch the 84-minute version. There's some longer dialogue in there. There is nothing in this movie that will even, I don't even think, terrify young children. So if you wanted, this is another good movie to have somebody dip their toe into horror. So again, I'm just very happy to do this movie. I can't wait to show this in the Discord once we get it all set up and ready to go. But this has been Carnival of Souls on Monochrome Monday.